Start from the beginning, bro. The issue with Sexyy Red.
What's going on with you today? I hope you're staying blessed out there. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about Sexyy Red and why
What are we looking at? It's a video from Blackie Speaks by... it's a video from Blackie Speaks talking about Sexyy Red.
Problem. This topic was actually brought to my attention by one of my loyal subscribers, Putri and Dead.
Thank you for
dropping his comment in my last video, and thank you for recommending this topic to me. I said that I was going to look into it, and I did, and now I'm making a video on it because I have a lot to say about this topic. First of all, for anyone who's not familiar with the name Sexyy Red, well, Sexyy Red is a 25-year-old rapper from St. Louis, Missouri. She's one of the biggest female rappers on social media, and her records are very inappropriate for the younger audience, which is very relevant to this topic. But she's really big on social media. She's gone beyond viral at this point. A lot of people are talking about her. Her records are going crazy. She's gotten some of the biggest cosigns in the music industry, including
I'm not playing no games
and of course Drake. Now, with that introduction being out of the way, let's actually go over this story in regards to Sexyy Red. This is a story that didn't, I feel like, catch as much attention as it should have, and it happened a few weeks back. Now, I did see something related to this, but I didn't really pay that much attention to it. Maybe because, you know, Sexyy Red is someone who's been involved in so many other things, especially like the last couple weeks and the last couple months. Now, this story right here related to Sexyy Red, I
think I'm the only dude. I might be. No, I'm not. Like, Sexyy Red is like, she's mid, bro.
feel like needs more attention, at least more than any other things like that she's been involved in, because this involves the youth, it involves this younger generation, and it involves the negative impact she's having on young children. Now, you guys know how serious we take that, because, you know, children are literally the future, and I think we as adults should be very serious about protecting the innocence of young children, because if we don't, then who's gonna do it? There's a lot of adults out there who, unfortunately, they're literally sleepwalking through life.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I
have children of their own, like Blueface. Y'all seen that video that I made, right? And you guys also know that Blueface is someone who's not a good parent at all. He's the same guy who's literally pushing strippers on his child's face. So there's that. Don't get it twisted though, guys. There's millions of quote-unquote parents out there, just like Blueface. He's just one of them, and he's just one who happens to be famous and happens to be recognized and known. But don't get it twisted, guys. There's a lot of them out there, and I just feel like we need to hit on these conversations because there's not enough platforms who are talking about him, unfortunately. So this story involves Sexyy Red herself, and it involves a young teacher, a ballet teacher actually, a young woman. The young woman in question is 22 years old. She teaches ballet to 5-year-old girls. A couple weeks ago, this young woman decided to speak about some things that's been going on in her class, and she did so in this TikTok that went viral.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life.
I've worked at some of the large...
Oh my God. That's not crazy. The most traumatic. You know how bad that is? The most traumatic? You ain't never had nothing worse? Like, come on, bro. I'd have been like, really?
This TikTok that this young woman put up that ended up going viral. She was speaking about how the majority of the young girls in her ballet class, like 5-year-old young girls, they were having a very hard time respecting authority.
I did think about
obviously,
that.
The issue with
22, and that's her most dramatic.
Respecting authority is, hey, she's a ballet teacher, and so anyone who's in her class should be able to follow instructions. In this video, she was specifically talking about how a lot of the young girls in her class, as an example...
Wait, no, why did she say that though? She said 22 like she was like 47. It's like, you know, like you just got out of...
refused to sit down in their chair when she told them to do so, and that was making her job so much harder. Very understandable. Now, not only are the children in her class refusing to follow instructions, they're also disrespectfully talking back at her. They're also throwing things at each other. She then spoke about how when she brought this up with the children's parents, she got a response that she wasn't really expecting. She told a story about how there was this one girl who was kind of causing a ruckus. She wasn't really follow instructions and listening to any of the orders that she was given so she could, keep the structure of the class. And she brought this up with the girl's mother, and her mother actually blamed everything on her, the teacher. What? Now this young woman, the ballet teacher, she was just letting out the frustration, like, what is going on in society? How come the parents are now so okay with their children having zero structure out in the world? And that's obviously a great point. I mean, we're talking about a ballet teacher here. I would never expect that a class full of young girls who are supposed to be taught ballet would be anything but orderly. Now obviously I'm wrong, and that kind of makes me a little worried.
I teach 5-year-olds ballet.
Hey.
5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up.
Oh. Oh, that's what you had to tell me. That's what she had to tell me. I'm like, you said no. Well, actually, I can't do that. I'm going to go to jail because next thing you know, me and the parents are fighting. Like, cause I don't, you're not going to just sit here. Why do 5-year-olds need to dance, go teach something on no for real? Like, they're not gonna remember, or unless they like keep up with the ballet, they're not gonna remember like 90% of what you're about to teach them, bro. Like,
they're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. Okay. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you and fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit, and mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad.
Now, on the second part of this viral TikTok, and this is when Sexyy Red comes into play, the young ballet teacher was talking about how the young girls were explicitly stating that they wanted to hear Sexyy Red records being played during the class. Now, before we continue, guys, we're talking about 5-year-old girls, okay? Just keep that in mind. We're not talking about high school kids, and hey, even high school kids, I would be like, that's actually inappropriate. We're not talking about high school kids and...
What? Like, what? Bro, like, go sit down.
Hey, even high school kids, I would be like, that's actually inappropriate because, hey, we're talking about 14 to 18-year-olds. I don't know about you, but I don't think it's appropriate, okay? Maybe you feel different, but I don't think it's appropriate because those are what we call the adolescent years. Those are actually some of the most vulnerable years for an adolescent, not only physically, but especially mentally. Now, this obviously holds way more impact because we're talking about children who are in kindergarten. So think about everything I just said, but apply that to the age that we're talking about.
And another thing that's heart-wrenching, is horrifying. It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Sexyy. Your daughters, your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear?
If you trying to see me trying to say what's up, I would be like, no, take that outside the classroom. Actually, you're suspended. It's like, why is she about to cry though? I mean, it's bad, but like, I wouldn't, what are you supposed to do? Like, what? I don't know, but I call bullshit. Bro, I'm just confused because it's like, I don't, like, what she, Okay.
I don't know what to do.
What?
I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls today because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life. We do freeze dance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If your daughter's twerking at 5, you really have some problems. Like, you're disgusting. Like, you really do need some help. At 5, I didn't know any song. I just don't. Yeah, like, bro. And even if you were singing a song at an age, you wouldn't even understand the lyrics. So you wouldn't even understand what they're talking about. Which means, like, it just always comes back down to the parents. So the fact that they know the song is not because of them. It's like, first it's like TikTok and all that, and then like on top of that, it's like what the parents allow. It's like at the same, like,
5. Where's the
5 is crazy.
Where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. You guys are hurting them. I come every day dressed, ready to go, and I'm in school too. I'm in college. I mean, I put bows in my hair. I'm wearing leotards. I'm trying to get them interested in like proper things for their age, and you guys are exposing your kids to this raunchy secular music. Why is you guys' 5-year-old daughter singing Pound Town? Y'all come in and you're more worried about what's going on your Instagram and TikTok feed versus being a parent. Be a fucking parent. You guys are horrible parents. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but this generation of some of the mom, not all, but majority that I've dealt with kids that are between the ages of 5 and 4 and 3, you guys don't parent your children at all. They have no basic comprehension skills. They can't sit still. No attention span. They're hitting people. They can't talk. They can't communicate. They don't even know how to say,
I think she needs some help. I think so too. I don't know what's going on. It's like, I understand what she's saying, but it's like, also at the same time, I feel like she's going a little, no, she's not going a little too hard. It's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, okay, like, she's stressing, bro. And she's stressing bad.
As you guys could obviously hear, this young woman, she's very worried and very concerned for these young girls in her class. Like, she seems genuinely concerned. Like, she cares. Like, she actually...
Wait, but what does Sexyy Red have to do with this? Because you can't, well, I'm guessing because how she responded, that's what they were saying, but like, you can't put this on her. Like, you can't blame the artist for the music they make. They're a grown adult and can make their own type of music, like, obviously, but like, it's coming down to the, like, if you just had better parents, like, they just were better parents, you wouldn't have this issue.
Really cares, man, to the point where she's like shedding tears, and she seems to care more than the parents, obviously, because how in the world are these 5-year-old girls even finding Sexyy Red? How do they even know about this artist who has all this questionable content that's not for children in her music? Content. How do they even know about Sexyy Red, right? Now, the answer to that question is obviously because their parents, okay, these little girls' parents, they're not really mentally present with their children. And so the child probably has like a phone, or they borrow the parent's phone, and then they're on the phone and they're looking all this stuff up. Because they're out here talking about play Pound Town and play Sexyy, which those are songs from Sexyy Red. We all know what Sexyy Red is talking about in those songs. Now,
bro, that's true. Like, because you would have to play it multiple times for them to understand what the lyrics are. So that means that you didn't play it just once. You was really like in that drink, like vibing, like you. Okay, yeah, that's vicious. Oh, hold on.
Parents,
okay,
they're not really mentally present with their children, and so the child probably has like a phone, or they borrow the parent's phone, and then they're on the phone and they're looking all this stuff up. Because they're out here talking about play Pound Town and play Sexyy, which those are songs from Sexyy Red. We all know what Sexyy Red is talking about in those songs. Now, just in case you don't know, let's actually read some of the lyrics. So this is the chorus to Pound Town. Pound Town just left Pound Town. When my nigga, he just took a bit down. That nigga dick a bit.
Yo. Bro, that was so random. I was like, where did that even come from?
Down. That nigga eat me out. And then this is the first verse to Sexyy. Sexyy Red says, take a nigga, show no mercy, do the bitch dirty. She like sexy, why you hurt me? Took him down off them yerkies. When you with me, put that dick all up in my backside. I'm a hood bitch, sitting courtside. I'll show up hottest Mac ride, little bitch. I'm from the north side. And then this is another one of Sexyy Red's records featuring Sukiana. It's called Hood Rats. She says, hood bitch, I fuck like a pro, nutted all up in an op throat when I fuck a nigga.
Yeah, Mozart, bro, they kind of they got you with this one, bro. I don't know. Ever since they came up with this, Mozart hasn't responded. It's like
she says, hood
Mozart been quiet.
I fuck like a pro, nutted all up in an op throat when I fuck a nigga. I fuck him on a low, lost my virginity and turned into a. Just a question to you if you're listening to this, maybe ponder on what I'm about to ask. If you're, let's say, a parent, or let's say you got some little cousins, if you heard them singing records like this,
all right, bro, like, come on, what are we doing, bro?
Like, how would you respond?
Like,
that's something I think everybody, regardless of if you got kids, you should probably ponder on that. Because if you're going to bring kids into this world with this new generation, these are things that you're actually going to have to, think about. Ain't nobody safe out here these days. I'm just saying, especially with how these social media algorithms, like a Fortnite character right here, bro. These are things that you're actually going to have to, think about.
Like, that's literally a Fortnite like character right there. Like, AR, and then they just wear the most like random fit, and it's like,
I'm just saying, especially with how these social media algorithms are set up, because they're set up in a way where they're actually trying to target children now. Just putting it out there. So these young girls are gonna be singing this at some point, because if they like Pound Town and Sexyy, those two Sexyy Red songs, obviously they're gonna listen to her other music. And we're talking about 5-year-olds here, guys. Like 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Okay, keep that in mind. Now continuing with the next part of the video. By the way, if you made it this far, can you do me a favor and like this video? Like, if you enjoy this content and you enjoy this conversation, drop a like right now. I appreciate you, and make sure that you're subscribed. Continuing. Now, Sexyy Red, she actually ended up seeing this video, okay, and she ended up responding. So Sexyy Red put up 2 different posts responding to this, so she thought it was a good idea to respond to this twice, one time on Twitter and one time on Instagram. And she essentially said the same thing on both posts, so maybe saying the same thing twice on 2 different platforms ain't so big brain, but maybe that was the idea, I don't know. But anyway, on this Instagram story right here, she took a screenshot of the teacher going viral after she voiced her frustration.
Girl, play Pound Town, Sexyy, and shut up. Yeah. What? Wait, so she said just play it and wow. Did she even watch the video?
And she said, girl, play Pound Town, Sexyy, her songs, and shut the F up, she said. And then same thing on Twitter. She said, girl, play Pound Town, Sexyy, and shut the F up.
I can just girl talk.
Nah, bro, that's crazy. She basically just said she doesn't care. Like, dang. Like, she just doesn't care. Like, that's crazy. Confusion hit her real hard. I'm saying, like,
responded to the woman's TikTok video where she was literally expressing her concern, okay? So Sexyy Red saw this, and this is the appropriate response according to her. So she ain't do this once, she did this twice, okay? Now, we had 2 different types of responses to this entire story. Okay. On one hand, we had, the sensible people of this world who are like, of course, little girls shouldn't be singing Sexyy and Pound Town, let alone know about
this
Sexyy
is
Red,
crazy
right?
B-roll right here, bro.
Talking about,
I'm so glad he has the rest of this cut out, because I already know what's happening.
That they should do, okay? Because they're children, they're young, they're 5. And then on the other hand, we had, of course, some quote unquote adults who shouldn't even be called adults, but we're gonna call them that for now. They were kind of defending Sexyy Red, okay, for whatever reason I don't really know, because ain't no way you're an adult with a functioning brain who is on
bro, the
Sexyy
fact that
Red
she's
side,
pregnant in this
unless you have
video
a
is like
a peanut brain, like a
bro,
brain
come
that's
on,
like
dog.
a macadamia nut or something, then I get it. But anyway, that was kind of the general
baby feeling like it's in a
consensus.
washing machine right now.
Two different
It's like
types of responses.
tumbling.
Obviously, if you're listening to me, you know what side I land on, and I already know what side you land on, because you are actually someone who you can think and you can kind of see what's really going on.
Because they don't got
Let's talk
one.
a little about Sexyy Red, because Sexyy Red, just based off of this response, tells me one thing: she is an absolute puppet. Sexyy Red obviously has she has zero concern for the young generation, because she literally seen the video of this young ballet teacher talking about all these things that were going on in her class, and she decided to defend her destructive music in this instance because she has no concern for the young generation. And because,
but at the same time, the thing is, if no one like this in the whole generation didn't care for this type of music and no one was pushing it, she would flop and she wouldn't have a career. Like, nobody would know her. So you can't just put this on the artists themselves. It's like the people listening to count as well. So it's like,
because she just cares about getting her records played, even if it's at the detriment of.
But she can't do anything. It's not like she's a superhero. What you want her to do?
We're talking about another woman who's literally seeing how destructive this music is to these young girls in her class in real time.
Bro, what's the saying, bro? Hurt people hurt people. Like, hurt people hurt people. Like, yeah,
and she's sharing all this frustration because she wants to see a change and she really cares. And Sexyy Red's response to this young woman was, shut the hell up, just play my records. Like, very like blasé, like indifferent, I don't really care, just play my music, girl. So that's someone who's completely disregarding morals, and she's only concerned with money, okay? So that's Sexyy Red in a nutshell.
Somebody
she's
think
an
about
industry
the children.
puppet 100%. I mean, this obviously confirms it. She knows what exactly her music is doing and how it's negatively affecting the youth, but she obviously doesn't have an ounce of concern because she's making money and she doesn't give a damn. But then again, why should she care? She's really in it for herself, right? And the thing about an artist like Sexyy Red as it relates to the music industry is she's someone who's being used to promote certain agendas because she's so easy to control. And this is what the music industry does, specifically in hip-hop, right? They try to find people they could put at the forefront who are willing to do any and everything just for a little buck, so they can use them as puppets to push certain agendas and certain ideologies. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of these ideologies and a lot of these agendas are things that are directly hurting the next generation. So it's not by mistake that someone like her has so much clout on social media right now. I've been saying this, but there's definitely something very dark going on right now behind the scenes. And the darkness isn't like some intangible and like mysterious thing that I'm talking about.
What do you mean the darkness,
literally, I'm just
bro?
talking
Like,
about
you're
what
the
we're
shadows?
seeing right now. Here we have an extremely popular figure on social media who has a lot of influence at their fingertips and knows exactly the destruction she's causing with her music. And she not only chooses to ignore it, but she doubles down on it publicly. That tells me that Sexyy Red doesn't really have a soul. If she did, then she put it up for sale a long time ago, and now she's gone. She's literally here in physical form, but her soul and spirit is somewhere else. Because someone with a soul and someone with a conscience would at least acknowledge what they're doing. If not acknowledge it, she would have never responded to this, because she would have been like, you know what?
Bro, I get it. I understand. But they're children, right? They're kids. The parents should have enough cognitive sense in their brain. You know, maybe I shouldn't play this around my kid. Maybe I should just save this for when it's just me or whatever. Eventually, your kid's gonna grow and listen to whatever they want to. But like, it's like they're children. You gotta like guide them some way. You can't just blame the artist for making that type of music.
Respond because, you know, I kind of feel a little bit bad, but that's not what she said. She literally told this woman, shut the hell up, play my records. So this is the exact reason why the industry is promoting her right now. They're promoting her because they know that she's willing to do any and everything for a little buck. It's just, to me, it don't really make sense why we even have people defending someone like this in a situation like this, when an actually intelligent young woman who's out here working with the children speaks her mind mind with great concern, there's people out there pushing back on what she's saying. And this is happening because there's so many people out there, they just refuse to wake up and they refuse to see the truth. Because seeing the truth actually takes a lot of effort, believe it or not. It's very easy to not only ignore but sleepwalk through these conversations that we're having right now. Most people are not really going to understand the weight of a story like this because most people are like them zombies on The Walking Dead. They have no clue what's going on. They can't see what's going on, nor can they predict what's going to happen. A lot of people on social media be talking about how women's voices are marginalized and ignored and nobody's listening to women when they speak. But they only say that when the woman in question doesn't go against the status quo. When she actually does, like this, ballet teacher, and she actually challenges and kind of pushes back on the things that people are very uncomfortable with, and she's talking about these very hard conversations that a lot of people just refuse to have. They not only make fun of her, but they also shame her and refuse to see the truth in what she's saying. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of women just, they refuse to speak up. Because a lot of women know, hey, if I say something like this, I'm actually going to be the one that's getting attacked. And you're goddamn right, you will. And you know what the thing is, contrary to popular belief, I actually think that women are more at risk at getting attacked, especially when they kind of like challenge certain conversations. Because people aren't so used to seeing a woman outspoken like this. That's the same reason why the music industry doesn't really like Nicki Minaj like that, because she actually stands up for her shit. So when they see a woman being outspoken and standing on 10 toes down, they're going to make sure that they attack her so they can discourage other women from speaking out. Because there's a lot of women out here, especially women with powerful voices in the industry who, for example, have a lot of things to say about it.
But see, that's the thing with Nicki Minaj though. She's already a legend. She appears, so you can't really like. Oh, now it's just dragging. Yeah, I was looking feeling it too. I was like, I think he's just trying to go for like 20 minutes. Like it feels like the video's taking longer. Like he's just like over and over just talking. I mean, like, bruh. But it was cool though. Like